Welcome everyone to the first official podcast from Theatre Thoughts. That's right, Theatre Thoughts now has its own podcast. This is your one stop for all of the latest news, reviews, interviews, as well as some of the hottest giveaways for the best shows in Sydney at the moment. My name is Justin Clark and I am so excited to be bringing you Theatre Thoughts' own official podcast. We can't wait to see who we get on the show, who we can get on to talk about what is going on in Sydney and what is coming, and to share some of their own theatre thoughts themselves. On today's show, I sit down with my friend Daniel Stefanovski as we talk about one of the hottest shows in Sydney at the moment, Come From Away. We'll have a chat about what makes Come From Away so amazing, as well as give you our own exclusive review of the show itself. So sit back, relax, switch on those thoughts, and welcome to the first official Theatre Thoughts podcast.
On the northeast tip of North America is a town called Gander.
September 11th, 2001.
Over 200 planes getting diverted.
Even with all the hotels in town, we've got no room.
With thousands of passengers arriving at any minute, the town is asking for help with, well, anything you can do.
We barely know where we are.
Just freaking out. I wish I was home.
Thank you for shopping at Walmart. Would you like to come back to my house for a shower?
Come From Away tells the incredibly true stories of the 38 planes with 6,579 passengers stranded in the remote town of Gander in Newfoundland. That's a tiny island on the northeast tip of North America. If you've heard the hype surrounding this particular show, believe it, the hype is legitimate. Irene Sankov and David Hines' idea, in theory, may cause confusion from a theatrical crowd. How do you create a momentous show out of such tragedy that was 9/11? The answer really lies in the real-life stories and the reflections of the characters from Gander portrayed on the stage. So in 2011, Sankov and Hine visited Gander and heard tales of ordinary people with extraordinary generosity. And this is reflected through every single syllable uttered on the Capitol Theatre stage. 12 actors, a 100-minute musical, and just enough time for a fraction of the 16,000 stories that the writing duo wanted to bring to the world. The show's music and lyrics are masterfully staged by Kelly Devine, with the music supervision and arrangements of Ian Eisendrath weaving a tapestry of tales for the audience to explore. With no intermission, it really could have been easy for audiences to fall into some sort of musical fatigue. However, Devine and Eisendrath's synchronicity knows when to provide relief and knows when to make you cheer.
You know what I love about Come From Away? I love that the band is on stage the entire time.
So good.
And it's just, it's a part of the show that I feel is very underappreciated because in other musicals, they're in the band pit and you know the music's there. Yeah. But Come From Away, it's like it's an extra character, really.
Especially during the middle of the show where they break out during, I always forget the name of the song.
Screechin'.
Screechin', yeah. They break out in the song of Screechin', and obviously like the violinist comes up, the guitar player comes out.
And you don't get that from other shows.
Oh, you don't get it at all.
No.
It's fascinating.
Like, maybe at the end, you usually get the entr'acte and the intro, like in most musicals and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's their little love note to most bands. But to actually have them like come on and screech in, and then at the end they all get their own song as well, where they come on. Yeah, it's quite a nice little touch to have.
And I think it really works in Screechin' as well, because that is the moment in the show where they are going into the bar. Yeah. And they're having this celebration, they're having this initiation into...
And they are like the live band of the bar. Like they get the ugly stick out and they're like right in the middle of the...
Amazing.
They're not to the side, they're like in the scene.
Yeah, definitely. I like it. And then you're right, they have that moment at the end where they come out, and that's the moment the crowd gets on their feet and you leave it with that, smile on your face sort of music.
Oh, yeah.
But this is your favourite musical, though.
It is 100% my favourite musical.
Now, you saw it in New York.
Yes.
You're in New York. I remember you saying, let's go see Come From Away.
Yeah.
No,
and you didn't want to go. You didn't want to waste your money.
No, don't waste my money. I want to go see the high rise. I'm going to walk all the way down to the end of New York.
Yeah, and most importantly, you didn't want to spend a full ticket price.
That is also true, because I was just the night before had got $10 lottery tickets to Hamilton, so that was fine.
Okay, yeah, but I did want to see it. I'd listened to the musical, and I thought it was amazing. And I needed to experience that in New York, considering the kind of musical it was. It was probably other than sitting front row in Hamilton, the best moment of the whole trip.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Like, so I remember you coming back and you were just raving about it. And I was like, I was on a high because I had such a good day myself. I was like walking down the high roads with like the old train lines there. I was like, this is so cool. I can like walk over New York. And you come back and you go, Come From Away was the best show I've ever seen. It like shuttle over Hamilton. I was like, whoa, first of all, calm down.
I just spent the last hour and a half crying.
Yeah. It's so emotional.
It was so emotional. And like seeing it there, I was just in tears at the end. And I was just like walking out. I was like, Sting, you missed out. You should have come.
That's right. And I remember that it was only recently that you found that TikTok that talked about...
Oh, about the buttons.
About the buttons.
Yeah. Which I've read that Lin-Manuel pointed out.
Amazing. Love him.
All our Hamilton connections.
I know, it's just too much. But you're right. So the buttons mean that basically whenever a song finishes and you get that crescendo and you come to the finishing part of the music, that you have like a button that... It's like a technical term, right?
Yeah, it's the point where the audience is allowed to applaud.
That's it.
But the show only has 3.
Yeah, so you got the beginning,
screech in, and then the finale.
Yeah, and I think that's done just because of the content of the show, personally.
Yeah, it's to keep you in there, and it's also more of it's an ensemble piece, so it's not really necessary to highlight each individual character. Like, and especially it's very adamant when you get to the pilot song, "Me in the Sky." At the end of that, like that's your big number. And in any musical, that brings down the house.
Yeah.
But in this one, they cut her off, the phone rings, she picks it up, and the show goes on.
Yeah, and you just keep going. Because I remember, like, we saw it recently at Capitol Theatre, and I always, every time I go, oh no, okay, we can move on.
Good production at Capitol.
It is quite good, isn't it?
I enjoyed it more than I did in Melbourne.
Really?
I don't know why.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's the same cast.
Yeah, same cast.
I don't know if anyone changed, but for some reason, maybe just because they'd been doing it longer, because when I saw it in Melbourne, it was just as it opened in Melbourne.
And as well, like, they had lockdown to, like, rejuvenate, rest themselves, so it was like the second lockdown.
Yeah.
So then it's like that fresh, like, we're back. It was in the first, like, 2 weeks since it came back.
Yeah.
So they probably had all that
energy. After lockdown, you'd want to, like, give it your all as well.
So much. It's insane.
And it's a feel-good musical where it's the best of humanity. And I don't know about you, but nowadays you need to see the best in humanity because it's very divided at the moment.
Yeah. Director Christopher Ashley creates a sleek and groundbreaking musical that puts the 12 actors through their paces as they don a multitude of hats and scarves and jackets arranged with precision and accuracy by Tony Leslie James to become the diverse characters in this epic tale. Working with Beowulf Borrett's scenic design, the cast really manipulate chairs and tables in order to become planes and bars and outlooks and more intimate moments of soliloquy, aided by a revolve to add smooth transitions and movements to the stories. It's really clear that Ashley wanted audiences to switch on their imaginations instead of throwing the literal at them. Carefully chosen to tell the stories of the Come From Aways, which is a Newfoundland term for visitors, are the diverse cast that delivers the true meaning of an ensemble. Under the careful supervision of dialect coach Joel Golds, the 12-strong cast bring an international array of characters to the stage, which is entirely representative of the global reach that was 9/11. So English, Egyptian, Georgian, Newfoundland, and yes, Australian accents decorate the stage. Although the accents for some audience members can be jarring at first, you are quickly eased into the conglomerate of voices used throughout the show. Gene Wengant provides a consistently grounded figure as the big-hearted Mayor Claude. Colby Kindle relishes in the comedy of The New Yorker, Bob, as we follow his cultural shocks to over-the-top kindness. Emma Powell's Beulah brings a touching and tragic connection with Charisse Hamilton's Hannah, whose firefighter son is missing at Ground Zero. The show doesn't shy away from showing the mistreatment and xenophobia towards the Muslim character Ali, played by Ash Rosity. We're shown the compassion that eluded the racism of the time. Nick and Diane Marsden, who meet in Newfoundland and subsequently married, have seen the musical over 100 times on 3 continents, including Melbourne's. In Sydney, they're portrayed by Philip Lowe, and for the opening night, it was Angela Kennedy, as we follow their beautifully awkward courtship after their plane was one of the many diverted. Beverly Bass, the groundbreaking pilot, is portrayed by Zoe Gertz, whose presence and determinism holds throughout the hit song Me in the Sky. Sarah Morrison as the new-to-the-world reporter Janice, Ash Roosterty and Douglas Hansel as a couple both called Kevin, Kelly Rode as the vet Bonnie, and Simon Maiden as Oz round out the cast and all provide essential figures to the stories told. Come From Away is a show for our time and one that is not to be missed. The reminder of the capacity that humans have and can have for pure generosity is something we all really need in our current context.
Hello? Yes, it's me.
Dad, I'm okay.
We honor what was lost, but we also commemorate what we found.
Come From Away plays at the Capitol Theatre in Haymarket until the 9th of January 2022. Tickets can be bought from ticketmaster.com.au.
Perfect version of me. Is he perverted like me? Would he go down on you in a theater?
I'm Maggie McKenna.
I'm Nat Bass.
We are in New York City in the Jagged Little Pill Broadway studios.
So excited to be here. We're working with the Broadway company, witnessing everything that is going on here and really absorbing as much as we have been able to.
It's won some Tony Awards. What else has it won?
Grammy. Not only Alanis Morissette's Grammy Award-winning album, but the album of the show is Grammy Award-winning as well.
It's pretty huge.
Massive.
And I'm here to remind you of the mess you left when you went away. It's not fair to deny.
Telling you right now, you guys have to come and see the show. Jagged Little Pill.
Get your tickets now.
Book your tickets now at jaggedmusical.com or by visiting our website, theatrethoughtsoz.online. Well, that's all the time we have left here on the Theatre Thoughts podcast. Don't forget that you can follow us on our socials, Facebook and Instagram at Theatre Thoughts Oz. That's Theatre Thoughts AUS, or on our website, theatrethoughtsoz.online. Until then, stay safe, get involved in as much theatre as you can, and keep those thoughts rolling. And we'll see you next time here on the Theatre Thoughts podcast.